OKRs, Objectives and Key Results. Welcome to this course on Objectives and Key Results, also known as OKRs. OKRs have become very popular for improving company performance. OKRs improve your company's performance by increasing focus, transparency, trust, cooperation, employee engagement, accountability, alignment, agility, and innovation. I'll explain how they do that in the next lesson. First, what are OKRs? Let's say you're driving to a business you've never visited. You open up your Maps app, enter their address, and the app gives you the directions to get there. You tell the app where you want to go, and it tells you how to get there. Like a 30-minute drive or a 3-year strategic plan, OKRs provide your destination and directions for the next 3 months. Objectives are where you want to go. In other words, what you want to achieve. Key results say how you're going to get there. In other words, what you will do to achieve the objective. With OKRs, the key results are both what you will do to achieve the objective and the criteria for determining whether the objective is achieved. In Measure What Matters, John Doerr explains how Bill Davidow of Intel added the phrase "as measured by" to link objectives and key results. John summarized the generic formula of an OKR as, "We will achieve a certain objective as measured by the following key results." For example, a simple company-level objective and 3 key results might be: the objective is to increase customer satisfaction. The key results are: customer satisfaction scores are 20% higher than last quarter, customer service staff increases by 5 employees, the percentage of prospects that buy our product service increases 30%. While not explicitly stating as measured by in the objective, the 3 key results define 3 results of improved customer satisfaction. This simplicity and clarity attract many people to OKRs. It's what also allows rapid iteration and ease of communication. Alan Kelly, in Succeeding with OKRs in Agile, points out that achieving the key results builds towards the objective, but the whole objective, should create more value than the key results added together. Key results are short-term measures that define the achievement of the objective, but they can't encompass the full value of the objective. The value you hope to achieve is determined by your strategic plan, which helps you pick objectives. That value may manifest much later in other metrics. I'll discuss this tension between measuring short-term results and long-term outcomes later in this course. If the definition of OKRs I've given so far is too simple for you, I have another definition for you from Objectives and Key Results by Niven and Lamorte. OKRs is a critical thinking framework and ongoing discipline that seeks to ensure employees work together, focusing their efforts to make measurable contributions that drive the company forward. This definition highlights the process of OKRs. In other words, critical thinking framework, ongoing discipline, and employees working together. And the outcome or benefits, for example, measurable contributions that drive the company forward. Setting OKRs usually involves 4 major steps. First, the OKRs are set at the company level. OKRs are developed by teams or individuals based on the company-level OKRs and strategies. Progress towards the OKRs is measured periodically during the cycle. Adjustments to OKRs or tactics to achieve OKRs are adjusted also during the cycle. At the end of the cycle, the OKRs are scored and reflected on. This set of steps is called the OKR cycle. The frequency of cycles can vary among companies, but a quarterly cycle is very popular. Like the rules for writing poetry, the rules for writing OKRs distill and illuminate thoughts to increase their power. The simple-looking OKRs require hard work to develop. In this course, I'll walk you through how to build good OKRs and implement an effective OKR process in your company. I'm Rob Stevens, founder of CFO Perspective. CFO Perspective provides finance and strategy guidance to help small businesses succeed. During my career, I've been the CFO, SVP of Finance, or Director of Operations of companies from just a few employees to $3 billion in assets and hundreds of employees. Facilitating the process of picking KPIs, monitoring them, and managing them were key duties at those companies. I have a course on KPIs. However, when I started my small business and worked with other small businesses, KPIs alone and some planning processes I used at larger companies just didn't fit. That's when I became interested in OKRs. The OKR process has served many businesses well. Google has used OKRs from when they had just 30 employees to the massive company we know today. In other words, OKRs can be used by the smallest to the largest companies. One final note: I make courses for small business owners and staff, as well as for business advisors like CPAs, coaches, and consultants. When I say you, I'm referring to small business owners or staff. If you are a business advisor, you can translate you to mean your clients or the business you work for. Benefits. OKRs have become popular because they provide so many benefits to companies. Here's a list of these benefits: clearly and easily communicate strategy, prioritization and focus, transparency, which leads to trust, cooperation, collaboration, and increased employee engagement, accountability, alignment, increased agility and innovation, increased performance, and promotes vision and outcomes. I'll now talk about each of these benefits in a little more detail to show how OKRs can improve your company. Strategy is worthless if it doesn't drive decisions. Unfortunately, company strategy and goals aren't heard or are quickly forgotten. Chris McChesney, in The Four Disciplines of Execution: Achieving Your Wildly Important Goals, found that only one employee in seven could name even one of their organization's most important goals. That's right, 15% could not name even one of the top three goals their leaders had identified. The other 85% named what they thought was the goal, but it often didn't remotely resemble what their leaders had said. In a poll conducted by Harris Interactive and Franklin Covey of 23,000 U.S. residents employed full-time, only 37% said they had a clear understanding of what their organization was trying to achieve and why. Only 1 in 5 workers said they have a clear line of sight between their tasks and their team's and organization's goals. Only 9% believed their work teams had clear, measurable goals. You may be hoping that strategy is more relevant and compelling to company leaders. In a survey of 11,000 senior executives, leaders, and managers, even with 5 tries, on average, only around 50% can list the same one priority. Only a third can list their firm's top 3. It's the blind leading the blind, and we wonder why companies stumble aimlessly. The connection between objectives and key results clearly explains what we want to accomplish and why we want to accomplish it. That clarity leads to many other benefits. OKRs can lead to better strategies that are more clearly understood and embraced by everyone in the company. Your mission must be memorable to be motivational. OKRs increase the focus of individuals, teams, and the company as a whole. As part of planning, they identify the most important objectives and key results, making all else secondary. During each quarter, OKRs are the criteria by which all subsequent requests for time or money are judged. Those that don't meet the criteria are not likely priorities for this quarter. Focus is as much a function of what you do as what you don't do. David Lane, the former CEO of One Campaign, says in the book Measuring What Matters that we needed a process of discipline to keep us from trying to do everything. OKRs gave them that discipline. Transparency. The transparency of OKRs leads to a host of benefits. These include trust, cooperation, collaboration, and engagement. BetterWorks commissioned Wakefield Research to conduct a survey of 1,000 U.S. employed adults on goals. The survey found that 92% of employees say they'd worked harder if their goals were transparent. OKRs expose redundancy. It's common in larger companies for 2 people or 2 teams to be working on similar things. When teams can see each other's OKRs, they can identify and address these redundancies. Many companies that have implemented OKRs talk about improved cooperation and collaboration. Some of this arises out of identifying dependencies of one team achieving their OKRs on the support of another team. Often, though, this arises organically because teams and individuals want the company as a whole to achieve its OKRs. The clarity of OKRs creates accountability. When people understand the company's strategies and goals, they have context for company decisions. Leaders can point to OKRs to explain the choices they make. Employees can point to OKRs when leaders make choices that don't reflect company priorities. OKRs enhance clarity and accountability, which creates alignment. Further, the OKR cadence of setting OKRs, periodically reviewing progress towards OKRs, and scoring achievement of OKRs at the end of a period creates a framework for revisiting and discussing goals. When people have clearly defined goals that are written down and shared freely, everyone feels more comfortable and more work gets done. Goals create alignment, clarity, and job satisfaction, and they have to be revisited and discussed regularly. Promotes vision and outcomes. It's become harder and harder to manage employees by monitoring their processes. The shift to remote work has made this almost impossible. OKRs are a way to measure performance by outcomes. Objectives and key results are steps towards achieving the outcomes the company desires. Setting OKRs causes you to ask insightful questions about your company. You think beyond the numbers and outcomes to the company attributes that power performance. In Measuring What Matters, Andrew Cole talked about how implementing OKRs at Limeris caused them to find answers to questions like, why is transparency important? What is true accountability? How can OKRs help managers get work done through others? When is it time to stretch a team's workload or to ease off the throttle? Increased agility and innovation. It's no wonder that OKRs have been embraced most in areas like Silicon Valley and by startups everywhere. It's a lightweight process for planning and execution that emphasizes frequent cycles of updates to strategy and process. It balances the tension between focused effort towards achieving goals with frequent assessments of progress and direction. Ultimately, all this leads to increased performance. Google is often seen as the leader and successful example of OKRs. Over 2 years, Google conducted 200 plus employee interviews and looked at more than 250 attributes of 180 plus active Google teams. They learned that there are 5 key dynamics that set successful teams apart from other teams at Google. Psychological safety. Can we take risks on this team without feeling insecure or embarrassed? Dependency. Can we count on each other to do high quality work on time? Structure and clarity. Are goals, roles, and execution plans on our team clear? Meaning of work. Are we working on something that is personally important for each of us? Impact of work. Do we fundamentally believe that the work we're doing matters? OKRs support all 5 aspects of successful teams. A culture of psychological safety is required to set the stretch goals of OKRs. OKRs foster accountability and dependability. I talked earlier about the clarity provided by OKRs. This clarity promotes the meaning and impact that employees desire. I'm not saying OKRs are the only way to achieve these benefits. I have a course on key performance indicators called KPIs, where I show that KPIs and KPI dashboards offer many of the same benefits. However, some companies find the KPI process to be too cumbersome, top-down driven, and inflexible. The culture of some companies is better suited to KPIs. Other companies might find a closer fit with OKRs. This course will walk you through the basics of OKRs so you can determine whether OKRs might be the right choice for your company.